What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So finally, I think I'm in a place where we need to talk a little bit about Heroic Assault and even some of the information that's been data mined from Gotham Knights that's probably pointing towards the possibility of getting some other villains in the game. Now, I think this opens up conversation. It opens up a lot of possibilities surrounding the game. And I'm quite certain that for most of you here in the community, you're probably not going to be against some of the things that you pretty much get to see surrounding all of these details. Now, you have to keep in mind that this game, I think one of the reasons it was opened up as a live service game was to promote a lot of the so-called live service aspects of these video games these days. But I don't necessarily think that, it really did pan out the way that they were probably thinking. If you go back and think about, say, Marvel's Avengers, that game did not necessarily hit as much as they thought it was going to. And I think somewhere along the line, it made sense that they would provide a better value proposition for their fans, sell a full price game, and then go with maybe any DLC models that they wanted to go with. All right. Enough of that chatter. So here on Twitter, one of my audience members, longtime audience members, Suspicious Tension, shared with me a few screenshots that seem to have been cut out of the game, or at least harvested from the game. In fact, some of the items were actually UAsset files. For those of you who don't know what a UAsset file is, these are Unreal Engine files that are pertaining to a video game project. So I guess some people are capable of going back and looking through these files and figuring out that they're from the engine, and they had some really interesting names. One of them had Two-Face in terms of their naming scheme and some other really cool names, and so on and so forth. It just really spells that it appears that Gotham Knights is going to be having this Heroic Assault possibly feature a lot of these villains that are in the Batman Rogues gallery. I think this is a better way to actually approach it because it doesn't really ingrain all of these Batman villains into the core of their, main story, but just highlights them and now provides a plethora of all of these heroes that, players and gamers can actually engage with as time goes on. So it's actually something that I feel is pretty cool. And if the Heroic Assault really opens the door for 4 players, then it changes the dynamic of the game. It changes the community interaction in the game and actually also separates it so it's not at the core aspect of the game overall. Because this is what Avengers suffered from. Seeing Gotham Knights' story, it's already kind of strange having to play the story from the perspective of 4 players, for me anyways, or 4 different characters, have all of their cutscenes and all of that stuff put in place. But then to go ahead and kind of see it all put in, another mode really kind of helps to differentiate a whole lot of stuff. Because now people can actually plan, people can actually match up, LFGs can be a thing, and people can start picking their favorite knights. Oh, we're looking for a Robin. Oh, we're looking for a Red Hood. And, that person can now use their momentum abilities that will complement their group. And these are some of the highlights that you can actually start thinking about right off the bat. Again, if you notice this picture, you also see a little Starro type sign of some kind. I thought this was quite interesting. This is Starro, isn't it? I mean, somebody help me with the correction if it's not. But I think that's pretty much, yeah, this is Starro. I mean, I don't have to even bother about that. I wonder how this is going to work, in my opinion. So these Heroic Assaults probably will be unlocking, in the time-based basis where players are going to be able to assault or raid an area and eventually start to, take out a boss or something, and they're able to get maybe gear, heroic rewards, XP, and all of the above to be able to get their characters stronger. Maybe even more new skins might be attached to this mode. So this proposition is actually pretty cool, and it actually comes out as a free aspect of the game as well, which really does allow for me to say, yes, I think this is something that the developers are on the right track on when it comes to, providing aspects of the game that we probably did not necessarily think of before release. The next part, though, that I feel needs to be properly, addressed is ensuring that that experience is one that is seamless. So right now, the game has received on PC anyways, and possibly some new patches are coming in on console to allow for more stability. I can tell you that the PC version of the game is now running way better than it did even at the beginning of the game's life cycle. If you notice some of these open world areas that I'm moving through, my gear is giving me around the 70 something FPS. But then now if I go to these same areas, I'm able to maintain even higher frame rates. There seems to have been a lot to stabilize the game on PC. The console, on the other hand, they mentioned that those patches were going to be coming as time went on, so we're trying to see if the developers are probably going to make this a priority before Heroic Assault comes out. This way, everybody who's engaging in the mode is able to get the very best experience overall. So I think this game really does have a highlight for its audience and its community, and I'm looking forward to these Heroic Assaults, to the villains, to how they want to go ahead and even anticipate it. And then there's also the possible talk of even having other playable characters in, game modes like these. I think this is really going to open up the door for a lot of gamers to basically come in here and try maybe what the future might hold for this universe. But anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you very much for listening and watching the video. Share with me how you intend to engage Heroic Assault, if it's even your cup of tea or maybe not. Talk to you guys soon in another one. Thanks so much. Peace out.